I support my delusion to the fullest extent. So I really felt like, you know what, like this is done, like this is going to be the one. So I think the thing about getting your hopes up, which I will do, I did it right after that. Like nothing is ever going to stop me from getting my hopes up, to be very honest with you. Okay, welcome. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to Get In Girl. Hey girl. Hi y'all. Hi. This is kind of awkward because I feel like I'm just showing up being like, oh my God, hi. And maybe someone's like, hello, where have you been? Hello, what is going on? So I have been MIA for like 2 weeks, but in my defense, y'all, I was fighting for my life. I was not fighting for my life. That sounds very dramatic, but I was going through it. Your girl was going through it. I was on my couch going through emotions. So that's where I've been for the past 2 weeks. And you know what? I'm like, that's what we're going to talk about this episode. You know that feeling when you feel like you're really working towards something and maybe it fails, or maybe you fall off, or maybe things don't really go as planned. And you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not even doing this anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. That feeling, that's what we're going to talk about today. Because the thing about falling off, the thing about failure is that I really feel like failure or falling off really tries to trick you and make you feel like, okay, because I set out to be consistent with my workout routine, or because for me, I set out to get a new job and it did not work out, it means it's never gonna work out. Or it means, you know, everything I did was wrong. Or it means like, oh, I'm the problem. Or it means like, this is just never gonna happen for me. And it's just it's a very interesting place to be. Because like in the logical, you're like, okay, like obviously one setback doesn't mean that things are not gonna work out for you. Like that's the logical part of me thinking. But in the reality, I was so caught up in my own feelings of like, oh my God, I really thought this was gonna work out and it did not. Woe is me. Like the world is coming to an end. Like nothing is working out for me. And this was me that literally just made an episode which they talk about like, oh, you gotta believe that things are working out for you. So I'm just sharing this to really show you that even me, someone that's like I'm not self-proclaimed, like people actually tell me this, but even me that I'm like, okay, like I'm super confident with how well things work out in my life for me. Like I'm super confident that things are going to work out for me. Like this is something that I know for a fact. But even though I know it for a fact, in the moment when those emotions hit me, when I get the email, like when you've been going to the gym consistently and then you kind of fall off, or like you've been trying to eat well consistently and then you kind of give in and you have a snack, in that moment, it's very easy to honestly just like start spiraling and start being like, you know what, like this is such a mess. Like you literally just feel like this is such a mess. I have to say, y'all, PK screaming in the background. I don't know why she's screaming in the background. She probably wants to go outside, but please forgive the cat that's screaming in the background. But you probably just feel like, okay, things are just not working out for me. And you really start to beat yourself up and you really start to only notice, you kind of like focus in, or you kind of like zoom in on the negative, because you're like, in that moment, I completely forgot all the other times that things really worked out for me. Like in that moment, in that day, in that week span, I was just like, this is awful. Like, woe is me. Like, I don't know if this is ever gonna work out. And I'm really going to go into what helped me kind of pick back up. But I really just want to acknowledge and let you know that if you're going through your own spiral, honestly, girl, like let yourself feel it. Like don't do anything rash, but let yourself feel your emotions. Because I feel like getting through the spiral and getting through the emotions is so important to actually come out on the other side. Because if you're trying to like stuff down your feelings, and if you're trying to like not acknowledge what is going on. Just like, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's okay. Oh, like, kind of like, what is it called? You know when people say like harmful productivity, or you know when people say like harmful positivity? It's kind of given harmful positivity, like harmful positivity. Like, just because we want to affirm, and just because we want to speak positively, and just because we want to do all those things, it's not bad to acknowledge that, you know what, like, this didn't happen to me and that really sucked. Like, this didn't happen to me and I'm not happy. I feel down. I feel bad. Like, it's okay to acknowledge that feeling, those feelings, without feeling like, okay, like, I'm not affirming. Like, no one says I should always affirm. No one says I should always believe that things are working out for me. I can't even like acknowledge this thought in my brain. I think it's okay to acknowledge the thought in your brain, but I think it's what we do after that thought. Because trying to erase all those thoughts from your brain, trying to be like, okay, I will never think a negative thing about myself, like, that's not that it's not realistic, because you can probably get to a point where you don't really think negative thoughts about yourself, but I don't really think that's the point. I think the point is not entertaining the negative thoughts. Like, they're gonna come in, but you're not gonna start, you know, like having a conversation with the thoughts. You're not gonna start being like, you know what, like, you are kind of right. Like, you can still feel what you're feeling and then kind of get through it. But that's essentially, long story short, I don't know if that was a long story short. That's why I was just not feeling it this past 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give myself a break. I'm gonna pause. Y'all have had like 7 episodes. You can keep binging the 7 episodes. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna get my nails done, because I was in swimming classes, went completely left. Bro, I've been fighting for my life these past 2 weeks. I've been fighting for my life. Swimming classes went completely left, but now I feel like I know how to swim. I feel, don't challenge me to anything. Like, don't be like, okay, well, jump in the pool and prove it. That's a bit much. But I feel confident. I feel more confident in my swimming abilities than I did when I first started it out. I just noticed that the pink of my earrings literally match the pink of my like microphone pop filter thing. But anyway, I am just lollygagging at this point. But I've kind of shared my own example of like, with the new job that I thought I was gonna get, and it did not work out. And y'all, like, this woman really made me feel like, she was like, oh, like, this is pretty much done. She's like, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but I'm gonna see you in the office in November. Like, it just felt so positive. But also, I'm very prone to delusions. That sounds bad. I'm very much, I support my delusions to the fullest extent. So I really felt like, you know what, like, this is done. Like, this is going to be the one. So I think the thing about getting your hopes up, which I will do, I did it right after that. Like, nothing is ever going to stop me from getting my hopes up, to be very honest with you. But that's kind of the reason why a lot of people don't like to get their hopes up, because they're like, okay, well, if you get your hopes up and then it doesn't work out, then what? The then what is that you cry about it and you move on and you get your hopes up again. Because I feel like when you kind of go into a situation being very pessimistic, like, you're just not going to put in your full best energy. That's just my personal opinion. But again, I digress, because what I really want to talk about today is the process of acknowledging that, okay, I did try to work out 3 times a week, and you know what, it did not work out. Like, it's not really giving what it's meant to give. Like, I tried and I failed. Last week you went maybe like once. The week before you went like 0 times. Like, it's just, you just haven't been as consistent as you want. Or maybe you were really consistent for like a month and then you just completely fell off. Like, you missed one day and then the next day you missed again and you missed again. And now you just feel like, oh, is there really a point of me even going back to try this again? Or is there really a point? Like, I've already missed all these things. I might as well just accept my fate. Like, I might as well just accept where I am right now and kind of just like move on and just like accept the situation for what it is. But I don't necessarily want you to go through life not getting back up every time you fall down. Because, and I saw this somewhere, like, this is not my own quote, but I was gonna say, someone said something about like, Consistency is actually falling down and getting back up again. Like, that's how you know you're consistent. Like, consistency isn't doing things perfectly for the rest of your life. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Like, truly, like, that's just not gonna happen. Like, you're not going to go to the gym like 3 times a week, every single week for the rest of your life. Like, you're gonna do it for a while, but like, you're going to have that point where you fall off. Like, that falling off is very normal. The part that's actually consistent, the part that's actually like you being consistent, is when you get back up again. Contrary to popular belief, because a lot of people feel like consistency is doing something perfectly, but it's not. Consistency is, okay, you know what, this didn't work out, that's okay, I'm gonna try something else. That is you being consistent, because you're not giving up on the goal that you have because it did not work out. Like, you're so committed to the goal that you have that you're like, it didn't work out again, guess what, I'm gonna get back on the horse, I'm gonna try again. Like, that is what consistency really is. And I think that is such a beautiful definition, to be very honest. And for me, honestly, I was like, you know what, like, even though it's not Sunday, like, I usually drop my episodes on Sunday, like, even though it's not Sunday, like, 2 weeks have passed, I was like, you know what, it's a Monday. If I drop it on a Wednesday or on a Tuesday, like, at least I did it, and then I can work back around to being on my original consistent schedule. And I think that's what sets apart the people that eventually succeed from the people that actually just let failure or falling down keep them down. Because it's not just feeling the emotions, it's not just failing. Like, you're gonna fail, you're gonna get knocked down, you're gonna fall off of your routine, but it's being able to acknowledge your emotions. Because I'm a very emotional person, so like, I will cry about it. I cried today. I was in Shoppers, I went to grab something and they didn't give me the answer I wanted, and I cried. Not in front of them. Walking out of the store, I was crying. Like, I'm a very emotional person, so I will cry about it. That's just a given. And if that's true as well, like, don't beat yourself up for having that phase where you kind of sulk about it or you cry about it. Like, that's completely okay. You should work through your emotions. But what I really want you to take away is that after working through your emotions, you need to get back on the horse. Getting back on the horse should look a little different from when you started, because it's also important to give yourself a little bit of grace. Because if you're doing something consistently and you fell off, like, why would you automatically expect yourself to just go back to, okay, you know what, even though I haven't gone to the gym in like a month, my first week back at the gym, I'm gonna go like full on 5 days a week at the gym. Like, you're literally setting yourself up for failure once again. And that's not like that should not be what you're trying to do, because your priority should literally be making sure that you develop that consistent routine again. And what that looks like is starting small. Like, if you would usually work out 5 days a week, but you fell off and you're trying to get back to it, why don't you start with like once a week? Or why don't you start with like twice a week? Or if usually you do like 1 hour at the gym, why don't you be like, okay, I'm just going to be here for 30 minutes so I don't get too overwhelmed too quickly. It's kind of ease yourself back into it. Because trying to go full metal to the pedal or full pedal to the metal, I don't even know what that phrase is, to be honest. But trying to go full on might just have you feeling overwhelmed again. You're like, you know what, like, this is too hard, I'm just not going to do it at all. So to avoid that, I think it's really important that you kind of like start small. And when you're trying to plan out, because I always talk about, you got to plan things out, you got to kind of look at where you are right now and then where you want to go and map it out, so it's easier for you to kind of get through the motions when you have the end goal in mind. When you're planning things out and things have not, in the same vein, when you're planning things out and things have not really been working out, I think it's also important to, like, instead of planning for like, okay, this is what I want all my workouts to look like for the month, that might be super overwhelming for you. What about you plan for the week? Like, this week, these are the 3 classes I'm going to go to. Like when I used to go for my fitness classes, which I really would like to get back to in a minute. Now I've just been doing like home workouts, home HIIT workouts, which I love, by the way. But when I used to do my gym workouts, because I know, okay, it would take me outside of the house. I need to know a particular specific time for me to do this. I would literally only plan for the week. Like every Sunday, I would sit down, look at my Good Life app, like look at the classes that are going on. I'm like, okay, these are the ones I want to go to. And then I would tie it around, okay, those days I'm going to go work in the office. Because when I'm in the office, like I'm already out and about. It's so much easier for me to just come home, put my stuff down and then leave, like put my clothes on for the gym and then leave, versus if I'm working from home and I've just kind of been in my pajamas all day and then trying to like get out of that like home vibe and drag yourself to the gym. I'm much more less likely to do it. So when you're kind of planning to get back on the horse, I think it's really important to design your environment or design your days to make it easy to follow up with what you're looking for. So for me, kind of what I said, like I would go work out on the days that I work from the office, because it's just easier for me to go outside when I'm already outside. For you, that might look like, okay, you know what? I'm in school right now. Why don't I go to the gym right after school? Or a lot of people go to the gym right after work. So I don't even have the in-between phase where you're like, okay, do I want to do it? Do you not want to do it? Like it's easier for you to actually follow through and do it than it is for you to not do it. Like once you're very consistent in the schedule, like once you've been doing things for a long time, then honestly, like you have more willpower, you have more maybe discipline to just follow through regardless of your external environment. But when you're trying to get back on the horse after falling off, I think it's important to make it as easy for yourself as possible, because if the result is the goal, then whatever makes the result easier for you to do is what you should do. And then honestly, the final thing that I want you to remember in terms of failure and in terms of falling off is that failure doesn't mean things are not going to work out. Like failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. Failure does not mean you'll never have what you're going after. It just means you're human and you had a moment or you made a mistake or something happened, and that's okay. I think there's a lot of shame around like, oh my God, like, do you know the number of times I've had to start this goal over again? Or do you know the number of times I've said, oh, I will go to the gym and I haven't gone to the gym? And I think it is that shame that keeps a lot of people down. But honestly, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like this is something that happens to all of us. There is also something to be said about if you're following a particular method and it's not working, it's important to identify when the method that you're following is not working, and like that's the problem. Like if the method is the problem, then we need to change the method that you're following. Like we need to try something new. But if the problem is just you fell off, like you were doing well and you fell off, you need to get back up and continue again. Because for different people, it's kind of different. Like sometimes if you're trying to go cold turkey, like you're trying to eat healthy and you're trying to go cold turkey and you love candy and you're like, okay, I'm never going to have any sweets ever again. Like you're more likely to fall off than somebody like me that I don't even like sweets to even start with. Like I don't think I've ever been on a diet in my life because I just don't. First of all, I like food too much, but second of all, I just don't eat a lot of things that people would cut out of their diet. I don't eat it anyway. Like I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. Like I don't really eat junk food. Like I don't like sweets. So like those are things people usually cut out, and I'm not really into those things anyway. So that's me. So if I'm like, okay, no, I'm just not going to have any sweets for the next month, like that's an easier thing for me to follow through, as opposed to if you are like so gung-ho on sweets and you're so gung-ho on candy and trying to go cold turkey and you keep falling off. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is that like you're following a method that other people say is effective, but it's not really effective for you, because what works for one person is not going to work for somebody else. So you got to figure out the method that's actually effective for you. And honestly, like balance is so important. I think balance is so important, because if you're trying to force yourself to be on a diet, if you're trying to force yourself to like, I need to go to the gym like 7 times a week because like I would really love to lose a lot of weight. Is that really consistent though? Like, is that not consistent? Is that really is that sustainable? Is that sustainable? Like, is this something that you can do long term, or even short term? Like, if you make it so hard on yourself, I kind of talked about this last week, I guess 2 weeks ago, but if you make it so hard on yourself, it's going to be so hard for you to actually follow through with it. I'm not going to get back into that because that's a completely different episode topic. But the summary for this episode is that if you're listening to this and there is something that you have fallen off on, if you're listening to this and you're like, I told myself I'll go to the gym this month and I've only gone 3 times, screw it, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to accept the way that I look. I'm not going to do anything about it. Do not be discouraged. Like, feel your emotions, but don't beat yourself up too much, because baby girl, like we're all human. We are all human. Do you know the number of times I've said I'll work out like 3 times in a week, and then I do it for like 2 months, and then I don't work out for like 2 weeks, and then I get back to it again? There's no tally on how many times you start and restart something. Like, there's no participation trophy for never falling off a horse. Like, you're not going to get a distinction in the gym. Like, you're not going to get a degree for going to the gym 3 times in a week. Like, it does not matter. If the result is what you're looking for, then you should continue chasing the result no matter how long it takes. If the method needs to be changed, then change the method, but don't give up on the actions that's going to lead you to the result. Falling off is okay. Failing is completely fine. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. It's probably happened to lots of people that you know. And that's okay, because we're all human and we're not perfect. And that's just part of life. But what I want you to take away is that getting back up is equally as important. Feel your emotions, feel whatever you need to feel, take your time, do your retail therapy if you're like me. Whatever, as long as it's not disruptive. Look, if you don't have the funds for it, don't engage in retail therapy, because if you put yourself in credit card debt to make yourself feel better today and then you're impacting yourself tomorrow, a vicious cycle. We're going to talk about that some other time. Feel what you need to feel, get back on the horse, start slowly. Don't go full on psycho like you were doing before and expect it to, just work out. Start small and let go of the guilt. Most importantly, like, if you've been beating yourself up about falling off the horse, like, this is your reminder that it happens to everyone. It is normal, and you can literally restart it as many times as you need to, because it is your life. And it is your results, and there's no participation trophy involved. Everybody's doing life for the first time. Everybody is trying their best. If it takes you 5 times to do something or 10 times to restart something before you get it right, guess what? At the end of the day, you still got it right. So it does not matter. If this really resonates with you, I want you to DM me. I love when y'all DM me, Laura. When people are like, oh my God, I listened to this episode. This is what I really took away from it. It makes my day. It makes my day. So if there's something that you're trying to restart this week, honestly, you can come DM me. Like, come DM me. We can restart it together. I can keep you accountable. Literally whatever you need. What I do not want you to do is just wallow in shame and guilt and just like feel all your emotions by yourself. Come talk to me. Come tell me what breakthroughs you had. Come tell me how this episode resonated with you. Come tell me anything else that has come up for you. And I will see you next Sunday. Actually, I'm back. I'm not doing a disappearing act again. This is it. I will see you next Sunday, same time, same place. I love you. Bye.